Welcome to Lesson 3, which covers the main display and its filtering options. Right now, we are looking at high-level summaries of the three elements in our all-purpose missile system. Risk assessments in TRIMS consist of process risks, product risks, and problems. By default, these are displayed in three columns as seen here. Process risks are displayed in the first column and are prefixed by the letter A. Product risks are displayed in the second column and are prefixed by the letter B, and problems are displayed in the third column, prefixed by the letter C. Within each risk group, you'll find any number of categories and risks. You may also find categories within categories. This flexibility allows you to organize risks in any manner that is convenient for you. When an element is initially created, it will not have any product risks or problems in it, but it will start with some number of process risks or templates. A particular collection of categories, templates, and questions is referred to as a TRIMS knowledge model. TRIMS is currently supplied with 4 knowledge models. The one that we're using for our sample project is the Systems Engineering Knowledge Base. This model is based on the templates described in NAVSO P-6071, also known as the Willoughby templates. This model does a risk assessment on all aspects of the design, development, and production activities of a typical military acquisition program. It includes some templates on software, but only at a cursory level. The second knowledge base covers software development risks in more detail and is based on the software risk engineering model originally developed by Carnegie Mellon. The third knowledge base can be used to assess risks in circuit card testability, and the last knowledge base is an integration and interoperability model for use when integrating multiple subsystems into a single program. We will see some of these other knowledge models later in Lesson 8. Right now, I can see a scroll bar at the right of the screen, indicating that there is more information further down. I can use the scroll bar to bring this data into view. Since all of our elements are fully expanded, we can see all of the individual risks in our program. Let's start by taking a look at the design area. If we double-click on Design for Testing, we can see more detailed information for that specific template. This view is the Process Risk Editing screen and is used for entering risk level information. The most significant part of this display is actually the list of questions at the bottom, as this is what really makes process-based risk management work. If we double-click on one of these questions, a new screen opens up called the Answer Questions window. This is where most of the work in TRIMS is typically done. We will cover both of these screens in more detail in Lesson 4. For now, there are a lot of risks on this screen, but many of them are either low risk or TBD and don't really concern us right now. If only there were some way to filter them out of the display. Okay. TRIMS has extensive filtering and reporting options. Clicking this button here will bring up the filtering dialog. This window contains 3 different filtering methods, and I'll cover each one in turn. The first method of filtering templates is the Include-Exclude filter, which can be used in one of 2 ways. You can either set it to show all templates by default and then hide specific types of templates, or you can do the opposite and hide all templates by default, showing only specific templates or questions. An example of the first case is to show all risks except hide TBDs and NA risks. This results in a display showing only those risks that are currently active. An example of the second case might be to hide everything except show me medium and high risk items. As you can see, the effects of the filter are immediately applied, and it is very easy to hide extraneous data. The second type of filter is the query filter. This filter allows me to select risks based on any number of query conditions. I can search for templates or questions containing a specific word or set of words in any of their fields. Or I can query based on the date fields. For example, show me all questions where the next action is due within the next 2 weeks. I can also query on the personnel fields. For example, if I am Drew Analyst and I want to see all of the templates or questions where I am listed as the performer, I can do that. And presto, here they are. The last type of filter is the condition filter. This filter allows you to specify which risks should be displayed based on whether or not certain conditions are met, such as question compliance or specific levels of likelihood or impact. For instance, I can specify that I'd like to see all risks with a likelihood of occurrence that is high or very high. When I click on OK, the results are immediate. These filters can also be combined. Show me the templates where I, Drew Analyst, am the performer, but hide TBD and NA templates, and for the moment, only show me those risks with the highest performance impact. And the result is that I see only what I wanted to see. Now some of these filters apply at the question level, and right now we can only see templates, risks, and problems. It is possible to see a list of all of the questions that are in the current filter by clicking on the Browse Questions and Risks button. I can scroll through the entire list of questions and edit any of these questions just by double-clicking on them. If this filter is something that I want to use again and again, I can save the settings into a filter file. I just enter a description, then click Save, and the program prompts me for a file name. Later, when I come back into the program, I can click on Open and select my filter from the list. If I have a standard filter that I want applied every time I start TRIMS, I can click the button labeled Save as Default. The last page of the filtering dialog is labeled Report Options. The settings on this page are used for filtering the detailed report instead of the main display. These settings and the detailed report itself are covered in more detail in Lesson 6. This concludes Lesson 3 on the main display and filtering.